What is up, YouTube? What is going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is up, the catch fam? You guys already know what time it is, man. Week 10 must start wide receivers tight. And it's going to be a very quick stream today, guys. I do apologize, but I did want to make sure that I got in this information for you guys today. So we're going to hop right into it, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way in. If you guys are new to the channel, I do kindly ask that you guys go ahead and hit that sub button, become part of the catch fam today, and we will get right into this one, man. A good week for a lot of top wide receivers overall, man. A lot of good matchups up there. So let's hop right into it. And this is not what you guys want to see. All right, here we go. CeeDee Lamb. I really like some CeeDee Lamb this week, guys. Okay, still coming in as a top 20 receiver on the year. And listen, I know he's had some bad performances as of late, and he hasn't been entirely consistent on the season as well. But this is a very nice matchup going up against Atlanta here in week 10. And I look for not just CeeDee Lamb, but the Cowboys in general to bounce back against Atlanta, after that abysmal week 9 performance versus Denver. So listen, he only had 2 receptions, but he had 9 targets last week. Like, he is getting the targets that we want from a stud receiver. And listen, these last couple of starts before that week 9 game against Denver, who's, been pretty good against posting wide receivers on the season, he's been phenomenal. So have CeeDee Lamb in your lineups and do so with confidence here in week 10. I don't think you guys will regret it. All right. Terry McLaurin, another player in the same division, right? NFC East guy here who's been having quite a bit of a slump, okay? Listen, I know he had the big performance versus Green Bay, but outside of that, and really the big performance in Atlanta and big performance in the against the Giants, he's been very inconsistent and finishing under 10 points in almost every other game, right? Depending on scoring format, I guess. But nonetheless, a very bad week against Denver, the team that shut down CeeDee Lamb as well, and then a bye week. So I think that there's probably a lot of questions out there about Scary Terry. And listen, I know that there is reason probably to be concerned because he is part of the Washington football team. Don't get me wrong, but I really love this matchup here in Week 10, regardless, guys, versus Tampa Bay. It's phenomenal. Okay, this Tampa Bay secondary is just god awful. So if you own Terry McLaurin, I think he's a great wide receiver 2 or flex play on the week. All right, Michael Pittman, man, listen, look at that. Ranked 7th overall on NFL.com and half PPR, man. I mean, he's having a phenomenal season, guys, okay? Barely any games under 10 points, right? Only 3 of them on the season, okay? And he's on a streak, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, 5 touchdowns in the last 5 weeks. He's been phenomenal, guys, okay? Carson Wentz has the trust in Michael Pittman. He is a player who we really just want to start due to volume probably the rest of the season. But really, when we look at these upcoming matchups, right, Jacksonville, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Houston before the bye week, he's got some phenomenal matchups. Buffalo is really the only matchup that we don't want to start him. But nonetheless, I like this game script versus Jacksonville. It's a big divisional game. Don't be fooled by Jacksonville. I know that they had a good performance last week, right? But this secondary is awful. But at the same time, Jacksonville is going to do everything they can to beat the Colts. It's a divisional game. So with that being said, the Colts are going to do everything they can to beat the Jaguars. So if you own Michael Pittman, he is a great wide receiver to start on the week. All right, listen, man, I like Dustin Jefferson. Don't get me wrong, going up against the Chargers this week in Week 10, but I really like Adam Thielen as well. I think, it's kind of interesting when you look at his stats, right? I think you could argue he's been inconsistent if he doesn't score a touchdown, but he's got a touchdown in his last 3 games. Okay. So I think he's a phenomenal start here versus the Chargers and what I think will be quite the shootout. Okay. The Chargers are the better defense, with all things being said between the 2 teams here. But nonetheless, I look for this thing to get out of hand, kind of like that Baltimore and Minnesota game got out of hand last week in Week 9. So I like Adam Thielen this week. I just got one of those feelings, man. Don't get me wrong. I like Jefferson as well. But if you own Thielen, I think that you can have confidence in him as a wide receiver 2 or flex play on the week. All right, Mike Williams in that same game. Listen, guys, I said it last week, okay? I know I said it last week. I really expected this Philly game to be a little bit higher scoring, and it was a high-scoring game, don't get me wrong. But I said if Mike Williams does not have a good game versus Philly, then we officially need to panic. All right, I'm giving it one more week, okay? And in a game that I think should be a shootout with Minnesota, if Mike Williams does not perform this week, I will officially panic for those of you who own Mike Williams. But I think he's a good start, guys. I think we got to give him one last shot in the shootout type game script. I mean, what happened to these games, right? I know he had the stinker in week 4, but what happened to those first 5 weeks where if you drafted Mike Williams, you look like a pure fantasy football genius, man. We need to get him back on track. And I think as a flex play, you can have some trust in Mike Williams here in week 10. All right, man. I'm not in love with this pick. Don't get me wrong, but I like Brandon Ayuk this week. Okay. My co-host Steven here at the catch has really convinced me of this. Okay. Uh Ramsey should be on Debo as long as Debo plays for majority of the game. I know Ramsey's been floating around this year, but I don't know, man. The Rams secondary has played fine, but they haven't been phenomenal outside of Ramsey. So I like Brandon Ayuk this week, Monday Night Football. I think this is a good game for both teams involved. So I don't know, man. I just got one of those feelings for those guys, for those of you who went out and picked up Brandon Ayuk on the waiver wire. You've got him as a flex play or maybe a wide receiver 2 play if you're really struggling like I am, right? I think we can have some confidence in Brandon Ayuk putting up a solid stat line. Is he ceiling extremely high? No. But maybe we're going to see a resurgence of Brandon Ayuk and get a little bit closer to what he did in that rookie season. So, yeah, I like Brandon Ayuk here in week 10. Call me crazy. All right, guys, there you have it. There are your must start wide receivers on the week. And yeah, I'm going to hop into the chat for just a second here, guys. I won't be able to get into too much of the chat. I got a lot going on this weekend, but I'll hop into the chat for just a second. Then I'll go over. I just want to talk about tight ends, man. I'm not going to do the same format for my must start tight ends, but I do want to just briefly go over tight ends for you guys as well. And I'll give you guys a couple picks. But yeah, I did want to get into this as Derek Lincoln here at the top of the chat. Robert Woods is gone. Yeah, it's awful, guys. I got that news just a couple hours ago. I knew this would come up during the stream, so I didn't really make it like part of the intro or anything. But this does a lot, guys. This really affects the Rams' offense. Are they better? I don't know. Probably not. Robert Woods is extremely talented. Okay, is this good for those of you who own Odell Beckham? Probably. But I still hate to see this, man. Hate to see such a high caliber player go down with such a gruesome injury. I think it hurts the Rams pretty substantially. So, yo 193 Christian Kirk or OBJ, man, it's so tough. Like, do we overreact here? Right? Is it an overreaction to go in and start Odell Beckham? Do we really know how well he's going to play within this offense? Is it better just to give it a week off? It might be. It might be just to see how things unfold. I mean, I think if Robert Woods is there, it actually helps Odell Beckham. I know that doesn't make sense in terms of targets, but I don't know, man. If DeAndre Hopkins does not play, I would actually lean Christian Kirk between the two. Secret, Fant or Schultz, Carr or Hurts? Fant versus the Eagles for sure, and Hurts for me for sure. I'm about start 2, Aaron Jones, Henderson, or Dearness Johnson. Aaron Jones and Henderson for me. Yeah, those are my two guys there. Chosen rows, start 2, Emmanuel Sanders, Christian Kirk, Jerry Jeudy, Hunter Renfrow, Russell Gage. Christian Kirk, if D-Hop doesn't play for sure. I like Hunter Renfrow in there as well. Russell Gage, a sneaky play this week as well. But Emmanuel Sanders not a bad option if D-Hop does play and you don't feel confident in Christian Kirk. Coughlin, Higby, or Freiermuth. Higby might see a little uptick in targets too with this injury, but I'm going to lean Freiermuth between those three. Since Ebron is starting, should people be nervous about starting Freiermuth? I don't think so. I think Freiermuth has stolen the show, but if you are, then I would lean Higby there. Secret, Jones, and I'm going to say Henderson. I agree. KH, what's going on, man? Pick one to start, OBJ, Julio, or Landry. I'd take a chance on OBJ there, to be honest. It's a good matchup for Julio, right? The Saints secondary is very bad outside of Lattimore. Lattimore is probably going to be pressed on A.J. Brown. So Julio, a sneaky play. Landry has just been so inconsistent. Very disappointing on the year, guys. And he's banged up, right? I want to trust Landry, but I don't know if we can. Is it crazy to start OBJ there? I don't think so, man. Rio Goddard, what's up, man? All right, guys, I'm going to hop in to the tight end segment. Just go have a little conversation about tight ends here on week 10. And then if you guys missed the must start wide receivers, you guys can watch this retrospectively and get into that as well. But like I said, a shorter stream today, man. Not entirely sure if the late night stream will happen tonight. A very, very busy weekend for my wife and I. Our baby shower weekend, our whole family's in town, friends are in town. Our co-host Steven is almost in town. That's who I'm about to meet here in a couple minutes. So I apologize, guys. I'll probably hop on tonight for at least an hour or so, though. So it might be a little bit later than usual as all. But appreciate everyone coming out for this kind of surprise stream, guys. Make sure you hit that like button if you're new to the channel. It would really mean a lot if you guys consider subscribing. But I appreciate everyone being here today. Nonetheless, just man, catch fam. I mean, really, Robert Woods going down. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm not doing a midday stream. Okay, tight ends for week 10. Some very good matchups for your top guys. I mean, Mark Andrews. The Baltimore Ravens struggled against Miami, but he shined in that game, I would say. He at least scored a touchdown, right? Darren Waller's got a great matchup at Kansas City. Flip that. Travis Kelce's got a great matchup at Las Vegas. We thought Mike Oseki had a steal of a matchup as Baltimore before this past week was 31st in the league against opposing tight ends, and he put up a goose egg. Let's not talk about Mike Oseki. If Dawson Knox plays, he's got a great matchup versus the Jets. Kyle Pitts got a great matchup at Dallas. Hawkinson, a okay matchup at Pittsburgh, and George Kittle, an okay matchup at the Rams. So really for your top guys, it's a pretty damn good week, right? Tyler Coughlin's got a decent matchup, or not a decent matchup, but great matchup actually. So going back to that question, Coughlin might be a good start. I mean, he's got the Chargers. I forgot about that. They are allowing the third most fantasy points to opposing tight ends on the season. So I like Coughlin this week. Coughlin is probably a guy that I would consider a very, very strong stream on the week. Okay. Freiermuth is a good start. I mean, the Lions are actually pretty good against opposing tight ends, but I just got one of those feelings, man. Got one of those feelings. He's going to have a good game. That game script's not going to be in the favor of the Detroit Lions defense. And with, Eric Ebron is a little banged up for those guys who are concerned, right? Juju Smith-Schuster is out, and now Chase Claypool is out. I mean, Freiermuth is basically your second option if you're Ben Roethlisberger. So I think due to volume, he's a good start. Dan Arnold is a sneaky start versus Indianapolis this week, man. But my must-start tight end on the week, without a doubt, is Noah Fant. I mean, I know he's been out with COVID. He's been banged up. He's been inconsistent at times on the season. He's still a top 10 tight end on the season, guys. And Philly is the worst team in the whole freaking league against opposing tight ends, right? Depending on scoring format, of course, but on average, okay? I love Noah Fant this week. I think that Denver is playing actually pretty well right now. Denver is one of those teams that are going to do whatever they can to beat you. And Philly is a team who's actually okay defensively, but not good against opposing tight ends. I love Noah Fant this week. If you've got him, start him. If you've got a better tight end, like a Kelsey or a Waller or a Kittle, right? There's not many at the top, and you also own Noah Fant. He's a flex play this week, in my opinion. Call me crazy. I know we've had a lot of debate on the channel about starting two tight ends on a weekly basis, but yeah. Cleveland's pretty strong against tight ends, right? But Hunter Henry's still a decent start on the week. Dalton Schultz, man. Listen, probably a better PPR start, but he's got a pretty decent matchup versus Atlanta. I like him this week. Dallas Goddard is probably next on my list, man. He's got Denver. They're going to be it's a tough matchup, guys. It's a tough matchup. You're kind of hoping that he finds the end zone, okay? Ricky Seals-Jones is probably going to be the starter for Washington. He's a sneaky play. He's got Tampa Bay. I like him this week. Zach Ertz has got Carolina. It's not a great matchup at all. Carolina's, I don't think they've allowed more than 9 points to an opposing tight end. No, it's to Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, the only guy who's had more than 9 points against Carolina. Not a strong start for Zach Ertz, but if you're really desperate, you can take a swing there. Tyler Higby, right? I don't mind this start, but San Francisco is the 10th best team against opposing tight ends, so I don't feel great about it either. It could be a lot worse, right? It could be worse, but it's not great. So those are really the top guys on the week, okay? Marley Cox has got Jacksonville. That's decent. Jared Cook's got Minnesota. It's okay. But I really don't think that there's any other tight ends we need to touch on. Must-start tight ends could be hard because there's only so many to really go over. And once you get through the top 8 are kind of consistent every single week, right? And then we're kind of talking about the same couple guys sprinkled in between like 8 and 25. So I would definitely say Noah Fant's my top guy. I like Dalton Schultz this week. Ricky Seals-Jones is a sneaky play. I like Freiermuth as well, and I like Coughlin as well. Sorry, to that question earlier, if I didn't really call Coughlin out, I kind of forgot that was right in my notes here. He's a great start this week. But Noah Fant, hands down, my must-start player on the weekend. Gosh, I wish that Mike Oseki did not do what he did the other night. That was very heartbreaking. So there you go. Must-start tight ends on week 10. There you go, guys. A nice quick stream today. Wow. We barely even got into it, man. Okay. I'm going to hang around in the chat for just a little bit longer here and see what you guys need. All right. Ron the Goat, what's up, man? Real Goated. What's good, my guy? Ron the Goat picked up OBJ for free. Won't play him for a few weeks ago. Yeah, this is a good point, Ron. And I'm happy. I mean, it's a great waiver addition, man. I'm glad that you were able to do so. But maybe we just want to give this a week or two to really see how OBJ is implemented into this offense. I mean, guys, I love Odell Beckham. I've always been a fan of Odell Beckham, but he was really, really struggling in that Browns offense. And I just hate for him to struggle within this Rams offense. Okay. Different quarterback, different coach, different scheme. I get it all, man. But maybe I don't know. We just give this a week or so to see what happens, right? He's not the Odell Beckham with the one-handed catch, okay? And that's coming from someone who really, really likes Odell Beckham. So, just keep an eye on it, guys. Real goaded. You think I should start Schultz or Hawkinson this week? I like Schultz a little bit more, but Hawkinson, due to volume, Hawkinson probably better if it's if it's half PPR or scoring, or excuse me, standard scoring. But I like Schultz this week, man, in full PPR. I really do. Hawkinson, I mean, I think it's a tougher matchup versus Pittsburgh. It's just weird because we haven't seen the Lions play in a week, and they're so incredibly inconsistent with who gets the highest amount of target shares. It's just, I just struggle with Hawkinson, man, because he has been relatively inconsistent on the season, man. But I don't know, man. Where's your headspace at? Let me know. Real goated. I mean, let's just see before the bye week, right? He had one of his better games this season, 13 points. But don't get me wrong, Hawkinson is still tight end 4. It's just not a beautiful matchup, but it's not the worst matchup. I could argue back and forth here. They're both very strong starts for the week, regardless. Run the Goat, have a fun baby shower, John. That's so cool. Hey, I really appreciate that, my guy. Really, really appreciate that from both my wife and I. Secret, thanks, Catch. I got another question. Should I play Ingram over McKissick and Kirk if D-Hop sits? Yeah, Kirk if D-Hop sits. I mean, look what he did last week. The volume's going to be there as long as Colt McCoy doesn't mess anything up. So, yeah, I like Kirk over D-Hop. Ingram over McKissick. I actually really like McKissick here versus Tampa Bay. This is the type of running back that plays very well against this Tampa Bay or defense, excuse me. So I like McKissick. And I think Ingram's a great pickup, but Tennessee's like number 8 against the run right now. They're playing very, very good against the run. So really with Ingram, you're just hoping that the Saints find the red zone and that Ingram gets in the end zone, which could happen. It could happen twice, it's very, very likely. But if it doesn't, I don't think he's going to have a really high ceiling. It's just going to be depending on getting like over 50 yards from scrimmage. So, but he probably will. But Tennessee is just very, very good against the run. So it's tough. It's tough. I think I'd lean McKissick, especially if it's full PPR. I think that would be the way to go. All right, let's see here. Monty, what's going on, man? Javonte Williams or Van Jefferson or McKissick, man. Wow, I hadn't even thought about this yet. I mean, Van Jefferson's value just shot right back up as well. Wow. Listen, man, I really like McKissick, but I've got Javonte Williams as a must-start running back this week, man. Him and Melvin Gordon, okay? They're coming off of a game where they just absolutely tore apart a phenomenal defense, right? In the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they just made them look silly. And yeah. I think that they do the same this week versus Philly, who is awful against the run. So yeah, I like Javonte Williams. All right, let's see. Hope Dallas game is a big one for Dak. Yeah, I think it could be for sure. Good to see you as well, Justin. A-Rod 99, Woods out, so I'm down. Should I go with T.Y. Hilton, Julio, or Gallup if he's being activated off IR? Good question. I would lean Julio. Julio's got a good matchup this week. Like I said, Saints secondary is not good outside of Lattimore. Lattimore is probably going to have to give A.J. Brown a lot of attention. I like Julio, but if you don't feel confident, T.Y. or Gallup are okay starts as well. Geez Louise, Lockett, Henderson for net for flex. Wow, that's tough. Henderson, but I really like Fournette as well. Both very good starts. Even if you put Lockett in there, not a bad start, but I just like Henderson a little bit more than Fournette, but I like both of them this week. Rock out, pick 2 for flex. Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, Judy, Kirk, full PPR. If D-Hop doesn't play, for me, it's Kirk and Williams. And then Michael Carter. I mean, I really like Michael Carter. I think he's a good value. I think the volume is there, but it's a tough matchup versus or a tough matchup on the week, right? And he didn't play well last week. when he had a tough matchup. Okay. I mean, Ty Johnson actually ended up being the better start out of the two guys, but it's a tough matchup versus Buffalo being the best team in the league against the run. So I'd lean Williams and Kirk here, but if you have to start Carter, it's not awful just due to volume. But if he doesn't find the end zone, it's probably going to be a very bad start. Jeez Louise, my opponent has Kamara and D-Hop. Ooh, there you go. John Simmons, Donovan Peoples-Jones, my wide receiver 2 this week. I think that's fine. I'm praying for Riley to come back in these next weeks. Yeah, I think that's fine. Secret, okay, thanks. Yeah, my league is full PPR. Should I play McKissick over Kirk? If D-Hop doesn't play, I'd honestly start Kirk first. But if he does, then I think McKissick is a fine start. Jew, hey, John, Deontay or Keenan this week? Wow. I think I'm leaning Deontay. I love Keenan Allen, man. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Don't get me wrong. I really like that game script a lot. But Deontay is like the #1 target without a doubt versus the Detroit Lions, who've been better on the season than we're giving them credit for against opposing wide receivers. But I'd lean Deontay there, I think. John Simmons, all right, what's your thoughts of a Swift for Saquon trade, considering Saquon's playoffs matchups? And I could get Devontae Booker as a backup for him. Yeah, I like that trade. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're trading Swift for Saquon. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I think Saquon might offer you a little bit higher upside. So, yeah. I mean, either way, Swift's a great running back. Saquon's a great running back with probably higher upside as well. So, I'm good at that trade, John. All right, guys. I do apologize. Has to be a quick stream for the day. I should be back on tonight to answer fantasy Q&A. Like I said, it'll probably start a little bit later than usual and won't be as long as usual, but I will be on tonight to make sure that I get, any questions you guys have before Sunday in order. And I might even hop on in the morning as well. So just make sure you guys got the notification bell on. That way you guys never miss any uploads or streams. I do appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out for a bit, listening to the must-start wide receiver and tight end segments. Like I said, I do apologize. It's a very, very busy weekend for me, but I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate the catch fam, man. You guys are just phenomenal. Love watching this community grow. Rock out. Do you like Jefferson or DK rest of the season? I love both of these guys, but I just can't get away from DK. I can't get away from DK. That's my guy, man. I'm leaning DK there. I love Justin Jefferson though. But guys, like I said, really, really, truly do appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the segment. Hope it was insightful for you guys. Awful news of Robert Woods going down for the season. So I know some of you guys are going to have some planning you have to do, and I'm certainly going to be here to help you guys. But we'll be on tonight a little bit later than usual, not as long as usual, but I will be here tonight to help you guys out and maybe even tomorrow morning as well. So make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Make sure if you're new to the channel, you hit that sub button down below, become part of the Catch fam today. And like I said, I really, really just can't say how grateful I am for this community. And yeah, truly appreciate you guys. Chosen Rose, is it beneficial to drop Tim Patrick for Russell Gage? Probably, if you need a starter right now. I mean, I think Russell Gage maybe higher volume, but Tim Patrick has been very, very good on the season. So Tim Patrick a little banged up though. I don't know how serious it is, but I like both these guys. Russell Gage, less competition for targets, so think of it that way. So yeah, guys, we will be on tonight. Make sure you don't miss it, man. Okay, I'll get to the last one. Monier, Van Jefferson, Russell Gage, Javonte Williams, or McKissick. Woo! For me, it's Williams or McKissick. I love these matchups for these guys. I really like Javonte Williams this week. If I get this wrong, you guys are going to hate me, but I really, really feel good about Williams. For me, I'd lean with those running backs, higher volume for those guys in these game scripts, I think at least. So, got nothing else to say, man. We'll be on tonight, okay? Get that notification bell on so you guys don't miss any uploads or streams. Apologize for these short stream, guys. Really, really do appreciate you guys, but I got nothing else to say. But thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch and Peace.